It's your boy Zente, and we here, y'all. Let's hop right into this video.
All of these niggas is capping, they fraud, and they don't do this shit every day. Put in the work for a day, how the hell you think it's gonna take off like a plane? All of my blood, my sweat, and my tears, this music is made through the pain. You gon' win a few, you gon' lose a few.
Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on post notifications so you never miss any videos. Road to 1K subs. That's what we grinding to right now. Make sure you drop a like on the video. That's the only way that I can continue to grow, is if new people subscribe and you drop likes on the video. Obviously, it helps the algorithm out. More people get to watch my videos, and that's what we want. So subscribe and drop a like. Also, like I always tell you guys, comment down below what other videos you want me to react to. It doesn't matter what it is. Just comment it down below or send it to me on any platform. But what we're going to be talking about today and reacting to today is the biggest story that happened yesterday in the NBA. And that is Giannis Antetokounmpo signed the Supermax extension with Milwaukee. That's big. Do I think it was the right decision? We can get into that. But now that means that he's officially staying with the Bucks for the next 5 years, unless he asks for a trade down the road. But for the near future, he's in Milwaukee. This is Kenny reacting to Giannis signing the Supermax, and he's just going to talk about it a little bit. So we're going to react to it, but we're also going to talk about it too. So let's hop right into this.
What's the word, y'all? Welcome back to Kenny for Real. It feels good to say those words, man. It's been a minute since we've uploaded here, and that's been a few reasons. One, we were transitioning from the off season to like now, which is like the beginning of regular season, so it wasn't really much to talk about. And the second thing is that I was transitioning from this channel being a part of a network to being independent, y'all. We 100% own this channel now. We 100% own this channel. Y'all don't know what that means if you don't make YouTube videos, but that is a big, big step in this channel. So I appreciate y'all just holding me down in the last couple of weeks of me not uploading. But now with the season about to start in a week or so and things going down like today, it is time to get back on the grind on the Kenny for Real channel, man. We have to talk about this Supermax extension that Giannis signed, man. What is the number? It was like $228.2 million over the next 5 years. And I think when you add the year of the contract they already got this year, then basically Giannis got his bag. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new. This is a hub of like me giving takes about the NBA, talking about the NBA, and then we built this community where we don't always agree with each other, but we respect each other's opinions. It's like what debates and conversation about subjective matters should be like. It's not all name calling because we disagree. So this is a community you do want to be a part of, so subscribe. So a couple months ago, when the beginning of the offseason started, I made a video saying, "Dear Giannis, do not sign the Supermax contract, yet." Because I was a firm believer that if he would have signed a Supermax contract at the beginning of free agency or the earliest he could have got, that took the pressure off of the Milwaukee Bucks front office to make the necessary changes for the team to hit that next step. As we know, this team has been an amazing regular season team over the last couple of years, but they hit this wall in a literal sense where teams are building the wall for Giannis, and the pieces around him needed to be better. Giannis needed to be better as well, but the pieces around him needed to be better and fit the play style when we got to the playoffs. And then
that's a big thing that he just said. I do think that it was actually smart that Giannis waited until free agency was over to sign the Supermax. And the reason that I say that is because they went out and got him pieces that he needed. Did they get him all the pieces that he needed? No, they did not. And what I'm talking about is they botched the Bogdanovich trade. So we ain't gonna talk about how they messed that up. However, the Bucks did go out and get Jrue Holiday for Giannis, and I do think that that's something that's very big for him, because Jrue Holiday is one of the most underrated players in the league, and he's one of the best defensive players in the league. He's actually pretty good at playmaking, and now that's his second star, even though I don't know if we consider Jrue Holiday a star anymore, but that's definitely his second star now. So the pecking order would be Giannis, Jrue Holiday, and then Chris Middleton, because what we've seen from the last couple of years, I don't think Chris Middleton is a number 2 guy. If he was, they probably would have made it to the finals already. But They got Drew Holiday now, and they made some other moves, but Drew Holiday is the biggest one, and we got to see how that goes.
They made the first move. First move traded for Drew Holiday included throwing Eric Bledsoe to the Pelicans and then giving up, I think, 3 first-round picks and 2 swaps, or 2 swaps and 3 first-round picks, whatever it was. It was a lot of draft capital. And as good of a player Eric Bledsoe is, because I think that Eric Bledsoe gets the short end of a stick when it comes to when his name comes up in conversations. Eric Bledsoe is a very good NBA player, especially for the regular season. That's why, for me, the Pelicans are such a harder team to really look at and say what their year is going to be like, because Eric Bledsoe is good enough to help you win regular season games. But when you talk about when it's a postseason and teams can start scheming against a guy like Giannis who doesn't have a jump shot, Giannis needed his surrounding 4 players on the court to be knockdown shooters for that team to be successful, and Eric Bledsoe just wasn't that. And now they have a guy who, Drew Holiday, I wouldn't say Drew Holiday is a knockdown shooter. He ain't coming off screens like Klay Thompson, Duncan Robinson, but he is a significant upgrade from shooting the ball than Eric Bledsoe. That is a W. Not to mention that he is a significant better defender. There was a clip that came out from camp where it was Drew Holiday guarding Giannis, and Giannis got the bucket because he's 2-time MVP, but Drew Holiday was under that skin and playing that great defense, and Drew Holiday has the ability to defend higher than what Eric Bledsoe was. And another thing that Drew Holiday has over EB is the ability to give him the ball and say, let's get a bucket, Drew. And now the Milwaukee Bucks have another guy on the roster that's like that, because Chris Middleton is like that to an extent as well, where like you can legitimately give him the ball on an isolation situation and he can create his own shot or create for others. And Eric Bledsoe didn't really bring that. But I was telling Giannis in that video that, like, I want you to stay with the Milwaukee Bucks, because it would have been a travesty if Giannis left the Milwaukee Bucks to go to a team in California, to go to the Miami Heat, to go to one of these big market teams, because at the end of the day, it seems like something we've seen so many times throughout history. And this was like, maybe this could really save a lot of small market teams, the fact that Giannis resigned. Honestly, because if he would have went out to all these other teams or the bigger markets, it would have been detrimental to the rest of the smaller market teams around the league. This gives hope for the smaller teams like OKC. OKC is a smaller market team that has 1,000 picks where they can hit on a draft, get a potential MVP, and be confident enough that if we do we play our cards right, we could potentially keep him, just because Giannis was able to do that. And what will make it better for the league, for the smaller market teams, is if Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks end up winning a championship. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen in the next 5 years. I'm already seeing people in my mentions. The news just broke like 3 minutes ago. And I'm already seeing people in my mentions saying L wasting his career, things like that. And then I look at the profile picture and it's a Miami Heat picture. I'm like, yeah, you saying that because you wanted him on the team. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just so happy that another small market, or one of the few small market teams, were able to get their star player and keep him for a long term. 5-year Supermax contract. I mean, again, it's not set in stone, because we've seen people sign extensions, then a year or two into their extension, they're like, okay, I want out. But Giannis don't take me for that type. You know, you take.
Okay, so he brings up a good point, right? Like I said earlier, and like he just said, it's not set in stone. You get what I'm saying? He signed a 5-year extension on top of whatever he still has, but that doesn't mean he can't ask for a trade. James Harden, Anthony Davis, that doesn't mean he can't ask for a trade next year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years from now. You get what I'm saying? He can still ask for a trade. So it doesn't mean that he's going to be there forever. But what I was going to say was, what do you guys think? Do you think he wasted his, I don't want to say wasted career. Do you think it was smart for him to sign back with Milwaukee? Because what I think is, do we think the Milwaukee Bucks can get better? Because let's say they don't make the finals this year. What are you going to do? Run it back like you did the last 3 years? Or 2 years, whatever you want to say? Do we think they can get better? Because honestly, in my opinion, I don't feel like Drew Holiday should be your number 2, and I don't feel like Chris Middleton should be your number 2 or 3. Now, he is a good player, but he's just not a star for me. I feel like the only reason he was an all-star was because of Giannis, and they were the best team in the league. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that it was smart for him to sign Milwaukee or go to another team? Because I don't know, him with Jimmy Butler and Bam, that would have been crazy. And I don't know what other teams he could have went to or wanted to go to, but I don't know. I feel like maybe there could have been some better options out there, unless the Bucks can do something that we don't expect.
Take a look at where he started from in Greece, and you hear a story about him, all of his brothers, and his parents living in a one-bedroom, and you got to think about these are like big kids. You know what I'm saying? These dudes turned out to be 7 feet tall. So these big old kids living in a one-bedroom or a studio apartment. He comes from very humble beginnings, and for a team like the Milwaukee Bucks to take him when not a lot of people had him on the radar, other than I guess the Bucks and Masai, because there was a video that surfaced of Masai in the war room on draft night trying to trade up for Giannis. Can you imagine that? But for them to take a shot on him, give him the keys early in his career, and allow him to develop into the player that he is, I'm sure that means a lot to him. I'm sure that means a lot to him, and that's why he signed his extension. So now that all of this is done, I'm really excited about Bucks basketball and their offseason. Again, we talked about the Drew Holiday trade and how that makes it better. But when you think about Giannis not signing an extension and keeping that foot on the neck, they were this close to pulling off a Bogdanovich trade. And I don't think you do both of those deals without really knowing that this is what Giannis wants. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Bogdanovich, like, I got different plans, I'm going to Atlanta, this team would be in a very, very amazing spot. I expect this team to be, of course, in contention again because they have been in the last couple of years, but be better this year than they were last year. And I hope, this is my big hope, is that this team comes to the realization that though the regular season matters, it doesn't at the same extent. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that some of the best teams in history, the ones that we're going to talk about for years and years and years, are the ones that, I don't want to say coast because coast has such a negative connotation, but ones that realize that, okay, we don't need to go 1,000% in the regular season. Let's save something for the playoffs. We talk about the Golden State Warriors that won championships after the 73-9 season. Draymond Green came out and said, like, the next year we were like, not forget the regular season, but we were like, it don't matter. We're going to win enough games to make the playoffs and hopefully get ourselves home court advantage. But we're not diving for balls and potentially putting ourselves in a situation where we're going to be banged up once the playoff comes around. And I want the Bucks to take that same thing. If this team is a worse regular season team this year, I'm not going to overreact because I would hope that this is a team that's like, we're ready to win a championship. We've been the number one seed. We've had the number one defense. And now let's focus on this chemistry stuff. Let's focus on these schemes that will help us win a championship. Because at the end of the day, we know the recipe to guard Giannis at this point. Now, hopefully with him having the surrounding pieces around him, he can elevate his play and his teammates' play will be elevated to get over that wall, like the literal wall that teams build around him or to prevent him from scoring. Giannis is such a dominant NBA player, and I feel like people forget that because of some of the playoff woes. Like, even when I watched the preseason the other day, just his ability to just barrel his way to the rim is have not been seen very, very often throughout the history of this league. LeBron was able to do it when he was very young. Shaq was able to do it. But, like, those type of players are very, very hard to come across. So,
okay, I got a question for you guys, and I got a statement. So the statement is, to what he just said, yes, Giannis is one of the most dominant players in the league. And when I say that he's trash, I'm not really saying he's trash. Obviously, you can't win back-to-back MVPs and a Defensive Player of the Year and be trash. But his style of play is easy to guard in the playoffs. You know why? Because the same thing with James Harden. You don't get that many foul calls in the playoffs. They let you play. You get what I'm saying? It gets more physical. So they don't give you as many foul calls in the playoffs. And then when all you can do is run to the basket and dunk, because that's pretty much all he could do. He don't got no mid-range shot, consistent mid-range shot, and he damn sure don't got no consistent three-point shot. And you barely ever see him post up. So all he has is put the ball in my hand and run to the basket. I don't even see them throw lobs to him or nothing like that. Like, there's, like, as good as Mike Budenholzer is as a coach, I don't really see you using Giannis the way that you could if he was with another team. But his style of play is easy to guard in the playoffs. So I feel like either the coach has to do something or you got to use Giannis in a different way. He can't just be ball in the hand, dribble, try to get by, and if I can't get by, I pass to a three-point shooter. We got to find a different way to use him. But my question is, do you guys think the Bucks are good enough to win a championship this season? Do you think they're going to get over the hump? I mean, me not being biased, yeah, I think it could happen. But do I think it's going to happen? Not if they don't switch up what they've been doing for the last couple years. Yeah, Drew Holiday is much better than Eric Bledsoe, but if Giannis is going to be your number one, you have to use him different. It's that simple. You got to use him different. You got to find a way to get him involved in the offense in a different way. Maybe play him in the post. Maybe play him like a big man and let Drew Holiday be the guard with the ball in his hand. You can't keep doing the same thing because people already know how to guard you.
Even when I talk about their bench, right, they made some changes. They brought in DJ Augustin. This is a team that one of the reasons why they were so good over the past couple seasons is because of that bench mob that they put together, where when Giannis was off the court, the team was still able to hold their own, and not a lot of teams in the league can say that. Usually the bench players are significantly worse than what the starters were able to do, but the Bucks have been able to build a bench mob, and they had to reformulate that after all these trades and things. But bringing in a guy like DJ Augustin is a big-time player. I don't care what anybody says. When the moment is when his number is called for the moment, he'll be able to do that. And him to come off your bench is good. You remember that Raptors series, game 1? Man was in his and-ones and giving the Raptors work. And I know that was 2 years ago, but still, he can still do something like that. And Bobby Portis, a small sample of Bobby Portis is all you need for him to be good. As long as Bobby Portis not out here getting 20-plus minutes a game, he's a good signing. If you could get 10, 15 minutes of Bobby P, you're good. And then they also get more wing defense when they brought in Torrey Craig. So I really like what this team is doing, and I'm so happy for Giannis. I was seeing people also in my mentions saying that, like, if he didn't sign his Supermax contract, not the Raptors, but the Bucks may have had to relocate. I don't know if I want to go that far into it, but him signing does mean a lot for the team, and it means a lot for the league. I bet Adam Silver is super happy right now. I bet he's super happy to see him staying. And though it would probably be cool for the league to see another juggernaut team get built if Giannis left and went to another team, I like parity. And as good as the Milwaukee Bucks is, them re-signing Giannis doesn't put them at the top of the totem pole. I think this is a year that's going to be open. And that's exactly what we look for every single year as a fan. Let me know what you think about the Giannis Supermax contract. I feel like I'm forgetting the stuff to talk about, but at the end of the day, Giannis is there to stay for the foreseeable future, and I think we should all be happy about that, unless you had eyes on him signing with your team in free agency.
Yes, Giannis signing back to the Bucks is good for the Bucks, but was it good for Giannis? I don't know. You guys let me know. Was it good for Giannis to sign back with the Bucks? And also, like I said earlier, do you think they're going to win a championship? Do you think they're good enough to win a championship with this roster? And I guess my last question is, if they don't win this year or in the next 2 to 3 years, do you think Giannis is going to ask for a trade? So comment those answers down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications. Road to 1K subs, man. Drop a like on the video. It really helps me out. Comment down below what other videos you want me to react to. I switched up the style of the video, so we're probably going to start doing that more. And that's the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. It's your boy Zente.
Shout out 808 Mellow. Whoa.